अथ एकश्लोकी किं ज्योतिस्तव भानुमानहनिमे रात्रौ प्रदीपादिकम् स्यादेवं रविदीपदर्शनविधौ किं ज्योतिराख्याहि मे चक्षुस्तस्य निमीलनादिसमये किं धीर्धियो दर्शने किं तत्राहमतो भवान् परमकम् ज्योतिस्तदस्मि प्रभो।
श्रीगणेशस्तुति।
सदा बालरूपापि विघ्नाद्रिहन्त्री महादन्तिवक्त्रापि पञ्चास्य मान्या विधीन्द्रादिमृग्या गणेशाभिधामे विधत्तां श्रियं कापि कल्याणमूर्तिः।
शारदा शारदाम्भोजवदना वदनाम्बुजे सर्वदा सर्वदास्माकं सन्निधिं क्रियात्।
अथ गुरुवन्दनम्। शङ्कारूपेण मच्चित्तम् पङ्कीकृतमभूद्यया किङ्करीयस्य सा माया शङ्कराचार्यमाश्रये प्रह्लादवरदो देवो यो नृसिंहः परो हरिः नृसिंहोपासकं नित्यम् तन्नृसिंहगुरुं भजे। श्रीसच्चिदानन्द शिवाभिनव्य नृसिंह भारत्यभिधान्यतीन्द्रान् विद्यानिधीन् मन्त्रनिधीन् सदात्मनिष्ठान् भजे मानवशम्भुरूपान् सदात्मध्याननिरतम् विषयेभ्यः पराङ्मुखम् नौमि शास्त्रेषु निष्णातम् चन्द्रशेखरभारतीम् विवेकिनम् महाप्रज्ञम् धैर्यौदार्यक्षमानिधिम् सदाभिनवपूर्वन्तम् विद्यातीर्थगुरुं भजे। अज्ञानाञ्जाह्नवीतीर्थम् विद्यातीर्थम् विवेकिनाम् सर्वेषां सुखदं तीर्थम् भारतीतीर्थमाश्रये विद्याविनयसम्पन्नम् वीतरागं विवेकिनम् वन्दे वेदान्ततत्त्वज्ञम् विधुशेखरभारतीम्।
श्रीमत्परमहंसपरिव्राजकाचार्यवर्या पदवाक्यप्रमाणभाराभारपारेण यमनियमासनप्राणायामप्रत्याहारधारणाध्यानमाध्यत्वाङ्गयोगानुष्ठाननिष्ठा तपश्चक्रवर्ती अनाद्यविच्छिन्न श्रीशङ्कराचार्य गुरुपरम्परा प्राप्ता षड्दर्शनस्थापनाचार्य व्याख्यानसिंहासनाधीश्वर सकलनिगमागमसारहृदय साङ्ख्यत्रयप्रतिपादक वैदिकमार्गप्रवर्तक सर्वतन्त्रस्वतन्त्र आदिराजधानी विद्यानगरमहाराजधानी कर्णाटकसिंहासनप्रतिष्ठापनाचार्य श्रीमद्राजाधिराजगुरो भूमण्डलाचार्य ऋष्यशृङ्गपुरवराधीश्वर तुङ्गभद्रातीरवासी श्रीमद्विद्याशङ्करपादपद्माराधक श्रीमज्जगद्गुरो श्रीमदभिनवविद्यातीर्थमहास्वामि गुरुकरकमलसञ्जात श्रीमज्जगद्गुरो श्रीभारतीतीर्थमहास्वामिना तत्करकमलसञ्जात श्रीमज्जगद्गुरो श्रीविधुशेखरभारती महास्वामिनाञ्च शरणारविन्दयोः साष्टाङ्गप्रणामान् समर्पयामः।
श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयम् करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करम् लोकशङ्करम्। श्रीशङ्कराचार्यवर्याय नमः। ब्रह्मानन्दप्रदायकाय नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरादित्याय नमः। सुज्ञानाम्बुधिचन्द्रमसे नमः। वर्णाश्रमप्रतिष्ठात्रे नमः। श्रीमते नमः। मुक्तिप्रदायकाय नमः। शिष्योपदेशनिरताय नमः। भक्ताभीष्टप्रदायकाय नमः। सूक्ष्मतत्त्वरहस्यज्ञाय नमः। कार्याकार्यप्रबोधकाय नमः। ज्ञानमुद्राञ्चितकराय नमः। शिष्यहृत्तापहारकाय नमः। परिव्राजाश्रमोद्धर्त्रे नमः। सर्वतन्त्रस्वतन्त्रधिये नमः। अद्वैतस्थापनाचार्याय नमः। साक्षाच्छङ्कररूपधृते नमः। षण्मतस्थापनाचार्याय नमः। त्रयीमार्गप्रकाशकाय नमः। वेदवेदान्ततत्त्वज्ञाय नमः। दुर्वादिमतखण्डनाय नमः। वैराग्यनिरताय नमः। शान्ताय नमः। संसारार्णवतारकाय नमः। प्रसन्नवदनाम्भोजाय नमः। परमार्थप्रकाशकाय नमः। पुराणस्मृतिसारज्ञाय नमः। नित्यतृप्ताय नमः। महते नमः। शुचये नमः। नित्यानन्दाय नमः। निरातङ्काय नमः। निस्सङ्गाय नमः। निर्मलात्मकाय नमः। निर्ममाय नमः। निरहङ्काराय नमः। विश्ववन्द्यपदाम्बुजाय नमः। सत्त्वप्रधानाय नमः। सद्भावाय नमः। सङ्ख्यातीतगुणोज्ज्वलाय नमः। अनघाय नमः। सारहृदयाय नमः। सुधिये नमः। सारस्वतप्रदाय नमः। सत्यात्मने नमः। पुण्यशीलाय नमः। साङ्ख्ययोगविचक्षणाय नमः। तपोराशये नमः। महातेजसे नमः। गुणत्रयविभागविदे नमः। कलिघ्नाय नमः। कालकर्मज्ञाय नमः। तमोगुणनिवारकाय नमः। भगवते नमः। भारतीजेत्रे नमः। शारदाह्वानपण्डिताय नमः। धर्माधर्मविभागज्ञाय नमः। लक्ष्यभेदप्रदर्शकाय नमः। नादबिन्दुकलाभिज्ञाय नमः। योगिहृत्पद्मभास्कराय नमः। अतीन्द्रियज्ञाननिधये नमः। नित्यानित्यविवेकवते नमः। चिदानन्दाय नमः। चिन्मयात्मने नमः। परकायप्रवेशकृते नमः। अमानुषचरित्राढ्याय नमः। क्षेमदायिने नमः। क्षमाकराय नमः। भव्याय नमः। भद्रप्रदाय नमः। भूरिमहिम्ने नमः। विश्वरञ्जकाय नमः। स्वप्रकाशाय नमः। सदाधाराय नमः। विश्वबन्धवे नमः। शुभोदयाय नमः विशालकीर्तये नमः वागीशाय नमः सर्वलोकहितोत्सुकाय नमः कैलासयात्रा सम्प्राप्तचन्द्रमौलिप्रपूजकाय नमः काञ्च्यां श्रीचक्रराजाख्ययन्त्रस्थापनदीक्षिताय नमः श्रीचक्रात्मकताटङ्कतोषिताम्बामनोरथाय नमः श्रीब्रह्मसूत्रोपनिषद्भाष्यादिग्रन्थकल्पकाय नमः चतुर्दिक्चतुराम्नाय प्रतिष्ठात्रे नमः महामतये नमः द्विसप्ततिमतोच्छेत्रे नमः सर्वदिग्विजयप्रभवे नमः काषाय वसनोपेताय नमः भस्मोद्धूलितविग्रहाय नमः ज्ञानात्मकैकदण्डाढ्याय नमः कमण्डलुलसत्कराय नमः गुरुभूमण्डलाचार्याय नमः भगवत्पादसंज्ञकाय नमः व्याससन्दर्शनप्रीताय नमः ऋष्यशृङ्गपुरेश्वराय नमः सौन्दर्यलहरीमुख्यबहुस्तोत्रविधायकाय नमः चतुष्षष्टिकलाभिज्ञाय नमः ब्रह्मराक्षसमोक्षदाय नमः श्रीमन्मण्डनमिश्राख्यस्वयम्भूजयसन्नुताय नमः तोटकाचार्यसम्पूज्याय नमः पद्मपादार्चिताङ्घ्रिकाय नमः हस्तामलकयोगीन्द्रब्रह्मज्ञानप्रदायकाय नमः सुरेश्वराख्यसच्छिष्यसन्न्यासाश्रमदायकाय नमः नृसिंहभक्ताय नमः सद्रत्नगर्भहेरम्बपूजकाय नमः व्याख्यासिंहासनाधीशाय नमः जगत्पूज्याय नमः जगद्गुरवे नमः श्रीमच्छङ्करभगवत्पादाचार्यस्वामिने नमः। तोटकाष्टकम् विदिताखिलशास्त्रसुधा जलधे महितोपनिषत्कथितार्थनिधे हृदये कलये विमलम् चरणम् भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम् करुणावरुणालय पालय माम् भवसागरदुःखविदूनहृदम् रचयाखिलदर्शनतत्त्वविदम् भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम् भवता जनता सुखिता भविता निजबोधविचारणचारुमते कलयेश्वर जीव विवेकविदम् भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम् भव एव भवानिति मे नितराम् समजायत चेतसि कौतुकिता मम वारय मोहमहाजलधिम् भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम् सुकृतेऽधिकृते बहुधा भवतो भविता पददर्शनलालसता अतिदीनमिमम् परिपालय माम् भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम् जगतीमवितुम् कलिताकृतयो विचरन्ति महामहसश्चलतः अहिमांशुरिवात्र विभासि गुरो भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम् गुरुपुङ्गवपुङ्गवकेतनते समतामयताम् न हि कोऽपि सुधीः शरणागतवत्सलतत्त्वनिधे भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम् विदिता न मया विशदैककला न च किञ्चन काञ्चनमस्ति गुरो द्रुतमेव विधेहि कृपाम् सहजाम् भव शङ्कर देशिक मे शरणम्।
श्रीशङ्कराचार्यवर्यम् सर्वलोकैकवन्द्यम् भजे देशिकेन्द्रम्। श्रीशङ्कराचार्यवर्यम् सर्वलोकैकवन्द्यम् भजे देशिकेन्द्रम्। श्रीशङ्कराचार्यवर्यम् धर्मप्रचारेति दक्षम् योगि गोविन्दपादाप्तसन्न्यासदीक्षम्। दुर्वादिगर्वापनोदम् पद्मपादादिशिष्यालि संसेव्यपादम्। श्रीशङ्कराचार्यवर्यम् सर्वलोकैकवन्द्यम् भजे देशिकेन्द्रम्। श्रीशङ्कराचार्यवर्यम् शङ्काद्रिदम्भोलिलीलम् किङ्कराशेषशिष्यालि सन्त्राणशीलम्। बालार्कनीकाशचेलम् बोधिताशेषवेदान्तगूढार्थजालम्। श्रीशङ्कराचार्यवर्यम् सर्वलोकैकवन्द्यम् भजे देशिकेन्द्रम्। श्रीशङ्कराचार्यवर्यम् रुद्राक्षमालाविभूषम् चन्द्रमौलीश्वराराधनावाप्ततोषम्। विद्राविताशेषदोषम् भद्रपूगप्रदम् भक्तलोकस्य नित्यम्। श्रीशङ्कराचार्यवर्यम् सर्वलोकैकवन्द्यम् भजे देशिकेन्द्रम्। श्रीशङ्कराचार्यवर्यम् पापाटवीचित्रभानुम् ज्ञानदीपेन हार्दन्तमोवारयन्तम्। द्वैपायन प्रीतिभाजम् सर्वतापापहामोघबोधप्रदन्तम्। श्रीशङ्कराचार्यवर्यम् सर्वलोकैकवन्द्यम् भजे देशिकेन्द्रम्। श्रीशङ्कराचार्यवर्यम् राजाधिराजाभिपूज्यम् रम्यशृङ्गाद्रिवासैकलोलयतीड्यम्। राकेन्दुसङ्काशवक्त्रम् रत्नगर्भे भवक्त्राङ्घ्रिपूजानुरक्तम्। श्रीशङ्कराचार्यवर्यम् सर्वलोकैकवन्द्यम् भजे देशिकेन्द्रम्। श्रीशङ्कराचार्यवर्यम् श्रीभारतीतीर्थगीतम् शङ्करार्यस्तवं यः पठेद्भक्तियुक्तः सोऽवाप्नुयात् सर्वमिष्टम्। शङ्कराचार्यवर्य प्रसादेन तूर्णम्। श्रीशङ्कराचार्यवर्यम् सर्वलोकैकवन्द्यम् भजे देशिकेन्द्रम्। श्रीशङ्कराचार्यवर्यम् सर्वलोकैकवन्द्यम् भजे देशिकेन्द्रम्। श्रीशङ्कराचार्यवर्यम् वन्दनं गुरुवीरने निमगुन्दनं सुखसारने।
वन्दनं गुरुवीरने निमगुन्दनं सुखसारने।
बन्धमोक्षगಳೆಂಬೆರಡರ ಸಂದು ತೋರಿದ ಧೀರನೆ.
ಬಂಧಮೋಕ್ಷಗಳೆಂಬೆರಡರ ಸಂದು ತೋರಿದ ಧೀರನೆ.
ವಂದನಂ ಗುರುವೀರನೆ ನಿಮಗುಂದ ಸಾರನೆ.
ವಂದನಂ ಗುರುವೀರನೇ ನಿಮಗೊಂದನಂ ಸುಖ ಸಾರನೆ.
ಬಂಧ ಮೋಕ್ಷಗಳೆಂಬ ಎರಡರ ಸಂದು ತೋರಿದ ಧೀರನೆ.
ಬಂಧ ಮೋಕ್ಷಗಳೆಂಬ ಎರಡರ ಸಂದು ತೋರಿದ ಧೀರನೆ.
ವಂದನಂ ಗುರುವೀರನೇ ನಿಮಗೊಂದನಂ ಸುಖ ಸಾರನೆ. ಬಂಧ ಮೋಕ್ಷಗಳೆಂಬ ಎರಡರ ಸಂದು ತೋರಿದ ಧೀರನೆ. ತನ್ನ ನಿಜವನು ನೋಡನು ಈ ಭಿನ್ನವಳಿಯದ ಮೂಢನು.
ತನ್ನ ನಿಜವನು ನೋಡನು ಈ ಭಿನ್ನವಳಿಯದ ಮೂಢನು.
ನಿನ್ನ ಪಾದವ ಕಂಡ ಮನುಜನು ಜನ್ಮವಳಿದಾರೂಢನು.
ನಿನ್ನ ಪಾದವ ಕಂಡ ಮನುಜನು ಜನ್ಮವಳಿದಾರೂಢನು.
ತನ್ನ ನಿಜವನು ನೋಡನು ಈ ಭಿನ್ನವಳಿಯದ ಮೂಢನು.
ತನ್ನ ನಿಜವನು ನೋಡನು ಈ ಭಿನ್ನವಳಿಯದ ಮೂಢನು.
ನಿನ್ನ ಪಾದವ ಕಂಡ ಮನುಜನು ಜನ್ಮವಳಿದಾರೂಢನು.
ನಿನ್ನ ಪಾದವ ಕಂಡ ಮನುಜನು ಜನ್ಮವಳಿದಾರೂಢನು.
ವಂದನಂ ಗುರುವೀರನೇ ನಿಮಗೊಂದನಂ ಸುಖ ಸಾರನೆ. ಬಂಧ ಮೋಕ್ಷಗಳೆಂಬ ಎರಡರ ಸಂದು ತೋರಿದ ಧೀರನೆ. ಹಿಂದೆ ಸುಕೃತವ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ನಿನ್ನೊಳು ಕೂಡಿದೆ.
ಹಿಂದೆ ಸುಕೃತವ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ನಿನ್ನೊಳು ಕೂಡಿದೆ.
ಬಂಧವಿಲ್ಲದ ಪೂರ್ಣ ಸಹಜಾನಂದ ಪದವಿಯ ನೋಡಿದೆ.
ಬಂಧವಿಲ್ಲದ ಪೂರ್ಣ ಸಹಜಾನಂದ ಪದವಿಯ ನೋಡಿದೆ.
ಹಿಂದೆ ಸುಕೃತವ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ನಿನ್ನೊಳು ಕೂಡಿದೆ.
ಹಿಂದೆ ಸುಕೃತವ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ನಿನ್ನೊಳು ಕೂಡಿದೆ.
ಬಂಧವಿಲ್ಲದ ಪೂರ್ಣ ಸಹಜಾನಂದ ಪದವಿಯ ನೋಡಿದೆ.
ಬಂಧವಿಲ್ಲದ ಪೂರ್ಣ ಸಹಜಾನಂದ ಪದವಿಯ ನೋಡಿದೆ.
ವಂದನಂ ಗುರುವೀರನೇ ನಿಮಗೊಂದನಂ ಸುಖ ಸಾರನೆ. ಬಂಧ ಮೋಕ್ಷಗಳೆಂಬ ಎರಡರ ಸಂದು ತೋರಿದ ಧೀರನೆ. ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಗಳಾದರೋ ಬಹುಮಂದಿ ಕಳೆದೆ ಹೋದರು.
ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಗಳಾದರೋ ಬಹುಮಂದಿ ಕಳೆದೆ ಹೋದರು.
ತಂದೆ ಸದ್ಗುರು ಶಂಕರಾರ್ಯನೇ ಹಿಂದೆ ನಿಲ್ಲುವ ದೇವರು.
ತಂದೆ ಸದ್ಗುರು ಶಂಕರಾರ್ಯನೇ ಹಿಂದೆ ನಿಲ್ಲುವ ದೇವರು.
ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಗಳಾದರೋ ಬಹುಮಂದಿ ಕಳೆದೆ ಹೋದರು.
ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಗಳಾದರೋ ಬಹುಮಂದಿ ಕಳೆದೆ ಹೋದರು.
ತಂದೆ ಸದ್ಗುರು ಶಂಕರಾರ್ಯನೇ ಹಿಂದೆ ನಿಲ್ಲುವ ದೇವರು.
ತಂದೆ ಸದ್ಗುರು ಶಂಕರಾರ್ಯನೇ ಹಿಂದೆ ನಿಲ್ಲುವ ದೇವರು.
ವಂದನಂ ಗುರುವೀರನೇ ನಿಮಗೊಂದನಂ ಸುಖ ಸಾರನೆ. ಬಂಧ ಮೋಕ್ಷಗಳೆಂಬ ಎರಡರ ಸಂದು ತೋರಿದ ಧೀರನೆ. ವಂದನಂ ಗುರುವೀರನೇ ನಿಮಗೊಂದನಂ ಸುಖ ಸಾರನೆ. ಬಂಧ ಮೋಕ್ಷಗಳೆಂಬ ಎರಡರ ಸಂದು ತೋರಿದ ಧೀರನೆ. ಬಂಧ ಮೋಕ್ಷಗಳೆಂಬ ಎರಡರ ಸಂದು ತೋರಿದ ಧೀರನೇ.
ಓಂ ಶ್ರುತಿಸ್ಮೃತಿಪುರಾಣಾನಾಂ ಆಲಯಂ ಕರುಣಾಲಯಂ ನಮಾಮಿ ಭಗವತ್ಪಾದಶಂಕರಂ ಲೋಕಶಂಕರಂ. ಭಾರತೀಕರುಣಾಪಾತ್ರಂ ಭಾರತೀಪದಭೂಷಣಂ ಭಾರತೀಪದಮಾರೂಢಂ ಭಾರತೀತೀರ್ಥಮಾಶ್ರಯೇ. ವಿದ್ಯಾವಿನಯಸಂಪನ್ನಂ वीतरागं विवेकिनं वन्दे वेदान्ततत्त्वज्ञं विधुशेखरभारतीम्. Dear friends, welcome to the 39th session in our discussions on Prabodha Sudhakara. So we were seeing chapter number 17, which was dealing with Dhyana Vidhi Prakaranam, which is titled as Dhyana Vidhi Prakaranam. It is dealing with the appropriate procedure to meditate upon Lord in a certain form. So Saguna Brahma Upasana is being described here. So the most important thing of this Upasana, Saguna Brahma Upasana, is that to hold the form of the Lord continuously in the mind so that the mind will move into more sattvic nature. All the good qualities, the Daivi Sampath, which are mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, originating in the Vedas, these divine qualities come into our mind slowly and steadily, for sure, if this dhyana is practiced, Saguna Brahma Upasana is practiced. So for Saguna Brahma Upasana, one can take up meditation upon different forms of the Lord. Typically, pleasing forms of the Lord are prescribed so that the mind will also be pleased. The direct effect of the Saguna Brahma Upasana is that the mind becomes freed from dependency for its happiness on worldly objects. Instead of looking for happiness in worldly things, the mind gets the capability to remain focused on the form of the Lord, the chosen form of the Lord, and this stillness which is produced in the mind when the mind focuses on the Lord's form, that stillness itself generates joy within. This joy within, as the Upanishads and as the scriptures are telling, the joy which is produced in the mind is not caused due to worldly objects at all. Understanding this is very important, because unless this is very clear in our mind, the mind will continue to search for joy outside itself, which means that it will depend on the world for its continued state of happiness, which is not going to happen in any case. Worldly pleasures will give pleasure, but that will be extremely temporal pleasure, and that will not be a sustained joy in the mind. So, going outside for happiness is a totally unfruitful exercise. Therefore, some other alternative has to be sought. If you look at the scriptures, the joy which is present or which is created in the mind, even when the sense pleasures are enjoyed, that joy is also not produced due to the sense pleasures, but they are produced due to the state of the mind being still during the moment when the pleasure is had. And when the mind is still, the self or the Atman, which is the source of all joy, which is Ananda Swarupa, in its Swarupa it is Ananda, that particular the mind being still in that particular sattvic state, the mind becomes like a mirror. It's like becomes like a clean mirror for the Atma Swarupa to be reflected, to catch the rays of joy, or to catch the iota of joy, the parts of joy which are present naturally in the Atman, of which the Atman is its own nature, Ananda Swarupa it is. That joy becomes reflected onto the mind, and the mind becomes capable of being joyful. So it is due to this process that one experiences joy, not due to any other reason. The true joy is produced only in the mind because of its capability to reflect the Atman during its sattvic mode of presence. That is, during the mind's sattvic state of existence. The Atman alone doesn't have any state, whereas everything that is Anatma has different states of existence. The mind has three modes in which it behaves. As you know, the three gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas. In the sattvic state, the mind is calm and composed and feels a sense of pleased nature. It remains in the pleased nature, it remains in a calm state, and this calm mind becomes the appropriate receptor. It becomes the appropriate um, reflector for the consciousness principle, the Atman, and becomes capable of reflecting the joy which is naturally present in the heart. So, and when the mind is disturbed state, there is a rajasic mode of existence. When the mind is plagued with various worldly thoughts and desires, multiplied sense of thinking. One thought comes at one time, and then the next moment, what is the next thought that is going to come? One can never guess, and it can be the mind will go from as close as your kitchen to as far away as the next trip that you are planning next year, or your 5-year plan, or whatever, right? It can vary its scope of thinking within an instant, and because of this extremely fast movement, the mind becomes something which is very hard to attain control over. So this vikshepa, what you can call as a problem here. It's a vikshepa means the disturbances, the variegated disturbances which are plaguing the mind. This kind of vikshepa, the uncontrollable mind, has to be somehow brought into control, and for that purpose, dhyana is very much prescribed in the Shastra. So, in the sustained period during which dhyana happens, the mind slowly focuses on the form of the Bhagavan, form of the Lord as described by the scriptures. This is called Saguna Brahma Upasana. The attempt to do that, the continuous attempt to do that is Saguna Brahma Upasana, and this is what dhyana is supposed to be. So, in any dhyana, in any procedure in which there is meditation upon the form of the Lord is described by the scriptures. What is the form that you should meditate upon? Now, you might as well ask, why not I can meditate upon any form that I like? While this is okay, still by their repeated practice and by revelation from the scriptures, the rishis of the past have identified certain forms, certain specific features of the form which aid our meditation, which enable us to reach that sattvic state of mind very quickly and effectively and enduringly, continuously for a longer time. So these forms of the Lord, which are coming to us from various episodes from the scriptures, these become trusted aids, like time-tested aids in the process of dhyana, in the process of making our mind stay. So in this dhyana vidhi prakaranam, as we saw, the form of the Lord which is being presented is that of Bhagavan Sri Krishna within the Vrindavana, along with all his friends, along with the gopis, enjoying as a boy, as a young boy in the middle of the forest in a perfectly calm and composed and pleasing state of mind, along with all others, animals as well, as well as all these cows and trees and flowers and friends and gopis, all of them are looking up to Krishna as the central entity, as the most lovable entity in the middle of this vana, in the middle of the Vrindavana. So this is the picture that Bhagavad Padal is presenting to us for the purpose of dhyana, for the purpose of meditation. And we saw a beautiful list of verses, which now I will just read. We will just go through these verses once again to recall the form which is being presented and try to complete the rest of the verses in this chapter, in this session. यमुना तट निकट स्थित वृंदावन कानने महारम्ये कल्पद्रुमतलभूमौ चरणं चरणोपरि स्थाप्य तिष्ठन्तं गणनीलं स्वतेजसा भासयन्तं इह विश्वं पीताम्बरपरिधानं चन्दनकर्पूररिक्तसर्वाङ्गम् आकर्णपूर्णनेत्रं कुण्डलयुगमण्डितश्रवणं मन्दस्मितमुखकमलं सुकौस्तुभोदारमणिहारम् वलयाङ्गुलीयकाद्यानुज्ज्वलयन्तं स्वलङ्कारान् गलविलुलितवनमालं स्वतेजसा पास्तकलिकालम्. So a series of verses describing the beautiful form of the Lord in the forest, keeping one leg over another, standing in this kind of a bent pose, with all ornamentations decorating his body and getting decorated, getting illumined by his nature. His nature is that of a very joyful, illuminating presence, and in this illuminating presence is all his ornaments, the earrings that he wears, the valaya, anguliyaka, the rings that he wears, the bangles that he is wearing, the bracelets that he is wearing, all of these things are being illumined by this wonderful entity called Bhagavan Sri Krishna, and he is standing there with a beautiful set of lotus-like eyes which extend from one, which are so big that they look like they extend from one ear to the other. And he is also wearing the wonderful earrings, the kundala, and then his face bears a very gentle smile. This gentle smile of the Lord is a wonderful reminder that in spite of being in the scary forest, he is the source of abhaya to everybody. In forest, is typically having a lot of wild animals and so on and so forth. But all of these, the soft-natured people, his devotees, can remain with him without getting any fear at all. And then on his neck, he is wearing the Kaustubhamani, which is in the middle of a wonderful garland of beads. Tishtantam Gananilam Swatejasa Bhasayantam Iha Vishwam. So by his own radiance, he illumines the entire universe. And of course, as you know, Sri Krishna loves to wear the Pitambara Vastra, so he is decorated by this golden yellow cloth around him, and all his limbs are, beautifully decorated. They are pasted using this Chandana Karpura paste. So he is eliminating all the negative tendencies by appearing to people in this particular way, which is so enchanting. The figure is so enchanting and captivating to the mind that you cannot but look at him and feel how beautiful he is, how handsome he is, how charming he is. He is a source of charm. He is a source of joy to everybody around. And it is like, in just to give a very a kind of a trivial example, you may say, suppose there's a great hero who is worshipped, who is actually as though like a god worshipped in the present day. So you imagine some kind of a cinematic hero who has such a large fan following that anywhere he goes out, he is looked at by all the people like he is none other than Bhagavan himself. Like that, there is a hero. So look, crowds throng to have a look at his face, and his very presence is exuding that kind of an attraction, a kind of a radiance, beauty, which is attracting everybody around him to him. That kind of hero, even today we see in the world, some famous people are there whose every action, whose every movement, whose every appearance is watched, is looked out, is expected, is endearing to millions and millions of people. Now you imagine a person who is 1,000 times, 100,000 times, million times more beautiful than any human being that has ever come, and more enchanting than any hero that has ever appeared on the face of the earth. And every one of his actions are such a joy to look at, and he is that kind of a person. That is Sri Krishna's charm here. That is the kind of beauty that we are talking about here. So naturally, there can be nobody who can take his eyes away from this entity called Bhagavan Sri Krishna. They don't even know he is Bhagavan, still they are attracted. It is in that way that we can understand. Some of these people may not even know he is Bhagavan incarnate, but still, because of his beauty, they are attracted to him. Because of his charm, they are attracted to him. He is a very natural personality to whom everybody will get attracted to, will get, charmed by. In fact, his name Krishna suggests that the Krishna has the same root as the word Karshanam. Akarshanam we say. So it has the same root as that word. Essentially, he is the entity who is loved by everybody, who is everybody's apple of their own eye. Everybody feels this entity, this person, this boy here is the apple of my eyes, and is the only thing that I want to live this life for. I am looking forward to see, and so on and so forth. In that way, Krishna is the most lovable entity. That is exactly why he is called Krishna also. So that entity is whom we should go to. That entity is whom we should worship. That entity is what is given by Bhagavad Padal for Dhyanam. Continuing. Gunjara Vali Kalitam Gunja Punjanvite Shirasi Bhunjanam Saha Gopaihi Kunjantaravartinam Harim Smarata. So here more visualization of Bhagavan's form along with gopis, how he is enjoying, that is being described here. Kunjarava alikalitam Gunja Punjan Vite Shirasi. So apparently on his head he is not wearing a crown of gold or anything like that. No ornamental thing is there on his head, because they are coming from a simple family. Krishna is born in a very simple family of cowherds, right? So yes, they are in fact well off, but they are not as well off as let's say a Raja or a Maharaja or anything like that. So you expect their decorations to be simple, but in spite of the decorations being simple, still they become very grand, because the entity that they are decorating is none other than the Lord himself. So in that manner here, on his head, Shirasi, he is wearing a crown not made of gold or silver or anything like that, but this crown is made up of flowers. This crown is made up of certain kinds of flowers, a kind of a ring of flowers, which are available naturally in the forest. So as you imagine, as Krishna is walking into the forest, some of these flowers, some of these plants have flowered, and he takes a few of them and puts it on his head, and his head appears this kind of red color flowers and brown color flowers, green color flowers, and all these things are there on his head. So Gunja Punjan Vite Shirasi, And these flowers are not simply colorful, but they also radiate a certain nice natural fragrance which attracts lots of bees who are coming near these flowers and dancing around these as he is walking by, keeping them on his head. So you imagine near by his head, lot of these droning bees making a sound. Gunjarava means a certain kind of a sound which is characteristic of bees, like that. They are coming and dancing around his head. Gunjarava alikalitam. They are, Ali means the bees. They are dancing around his head, which are having the flowers. Gunja punjan bite shirasi, decorated by flowers. Then what is he doing? He is having a gala time with the gopis. Bhunjanam saha gopaihi. So he is dancing, frolicking around in the forest, having a nice time along with all the gopis, along with all the gopa gopis. So both of them, so all the males and females of his village, all the young people, they are very much attracted to him. He was their close friend, confidant, playmate, and all that. And these people, they are not normal people. They are all, the rishis and the devotees of various previous janmas. They are all reborn along with Krishna in the Vrindavana as per our Puranas, because it is not a joke to get time spent playing with an avatara. Imagine this. See, an avatara is taking birth. In avatara, Bhagavan takes birth as a human being, comes down as a human. He doesn't say, we don't typically say takes birth. He typically say he comes down in the form of an incarnation, an avatara. He takes up a body. He takes up for the purpose of maintaining dharma, upholding dharma, and getting rid of adharma. That is the only purpose for which Bhagavan's avatara is manifested, isn't it? That is what Bhagavan says. In such an avatara, for so many years, these, the Gopa Gopikas, they are having such a jolly time with Bhagavan. So one may ask, what is the purpose of this avatara? During this time, what is the purpose of this avatara? This avatara is just born and they are all having a gala time with him, having a fun time, having a party time with an entity who is Bhagavan himself. What is so great about it? We may have that question, but the point is that Bhagavan, enjoying time with Bhagavan is not like enjoying time with any worldly people. The very existence or very form of Bhagavan is one to be worshipped because he is Bhagavan. There is no other reason. The Bhagavan's form is supposed to be worshipful always. And what does a worshipful form give you? It gives you the highest benefit. It is not only dharma, but it also gives you moksha itself. The dhyana on Bhagavan's form gives you moksha itself. And remember, this is dhyana vidhi prakaranam. In dhyana vidhi, here Bhagavad Padal is giving to us the form of Vrindavana Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna as Vrindavana Vihari, that form he is giving to us here. But imagine the state of the people who are around him, the gopis and gopikas, the gopas who are around him. They are directly interacting physically with this form. So naturally their experience is far more intense than what our experience can be at this moment as we are entering this meditation. They are in person, in live in front of Bhagavan, who is there with him in body as well as mind and spirit. So Bhagavan, being the source of all joy, is directly manifest to them, and this is a result of great punya karma, great upasana done by all of these Gopa Gopikas in various previous janmas for many thousands of years. This is the fruit of their meditation. In the same way, if we meditate on the Lord, we can also enjoy the form of the Lord, even though not in the physical form. In the physical form also, it is quite possible. We don't reject that, but beyond that, in the mind we can enjoy. And furthermore, more than enjoying the form of the Lord in the mind or in the body, we get the qualifications to enter the study of Vedanta, to deepen the study of Vedanta, which alone will give us the final solution to all our problems, which is to find Bhagavan as oneself. So far, Bhagavan is spoken about as though is a different entity in the mind or outside the mind, in the outside the body and so on. But actually, the real nature of Bhagavan is Atman itself. That Bhagavan, if you want to find out, if you want to understand your identity with Bhagavan, you have to do Saguna Upasana to ensure that the mind is relatively tranquil enough to grasp the truth which is described in, which is pointed out in Vedantic scriptures. So here you see Bhunjanam Saha Gopai. Along with all the gopis, he is having a gala time, eating, sleeping, and playing, and all that. He is having his nice time in the forest. Kunjantara Vartinam Harim Sramata. So Smarata. So he is in the middle of the a kind of a kind of a cove, you say, COVE, cove. So it is like a kind of an arch-like thing in the middle of a natural arch, which is formed using by trees and creepers and plants and shrubs and various bushes. A nice, an arch-like thing is there in the forest, which will protect them from extreme heat and extreme weather and so on. So under the cool shade which is provided by this natural arch, he is sitting and having a nice time along with all his friends. So that is the idea here. You also see this picture which is describing in some way, to some extent, it is capturing the moment. Beautiful picture is capturing the moment. Continuing. Mandara Pushpavasita Mandanila Sevitam Paranandam Mandakini Yutapadam Namata Mahanandadam Mahapurusha. So Mandara Pushpavasita Mandanila Sevitam Paranandam. So all of these shlokas have wonderful ornamentation, wonderful alankaras which are used by Bhagavad Pada. So if you have a good knowledge of Sanskrit language, a good knowledge of poetry, then you can enjoy all these things far more. Mandara Pushpavasitam Manda Nila Sevitam Paranandam. So this Bhagavan, he is Sevitam. He is worshipped, he is served, he is prostrated to by whom? By the Manda Anila Sevitam. Manda Anila. So a soft breeze is flowing around Bhagavan, gently caressing all his limbs, taking away the negative things around and helping to bring the positive atmosphere inside. So this Manda Nila Sevitam, but at the same time, in the presence of Bhagavan, even these natural forces don't have anything to contribute, because he is the master of everything. He is the only presence that is real. To that real presence, all the natural forces submit themselves. They all do seva to him. He is not benefiting by them, they are benefiting by his presence. So this Manda Anila Sevitam, by the soft breeze, this Bhagavan is worshipped. And what about the fragrance in this breeze? This breeze has a nice fragrance which is composed of Mandara Pushpa Vasita. So it is having the vasa, it is having the smell, the sweet fragrance of Mandara Pushpa, which is a kind of a flower. That the smell of the flowers, the fragrance coming from the flowers is spread around in this soft breeze which is flowing. So it is all an extremely pleasant environment. So when you meditate on this pleasant environment, your mind becomes pleasant. That is the idea. You don't have to go to any place. Sitting in one place, you can make your mind into an extremely pleasant atmosphere. Internally, in the middle of summer heat, you can enjoy the soft breeze which is there in the forest, which is filled with Mandara Pushpa, the fragrance of the Mandara Pushpa. That you can bring all of these inside your mind. And when you bring all of these inside your mind, you also feel like as though you have entered the forest along with Sri Krishna. That is the idea. Paranandam, he is Parananda. He is the greatest source of all joy. There is nothing greater joy than him. He is the absolute joy incarnate. He is joy in its truest form. So as so in the middle of these upasanas, while describing the saguna akara, while describing the saguna form, the attribute filled nature of Bhagavan in that particular form. So Sri Krishna is looking like that, and he's having mandahasa, and he's having beautiful eyes, and he's ornamented. There is a beautiful breeze, he is surrounded by gopis. So all of this description is about various properties of this form, isn't it? But in the middle of this, Bhagavad Padal also characteristically imbues these verses with the Advaitic ideas. Paranandam cannot stand for any particular form, isn't it? Because a form will always be temporal and it will go away. So it cannot be source of joy forever. It cannot be the highest joy. That which goes away cannot give highest joy, because if it gives highest joy, it will also give highest sorrow, because until the form is there, the person will enjoy. After the form is gone, the person cannot enjoy. So the form cannot be the source of highest joy, but the formless, beautiful entity, the Ananda Swarupa within the form, that has to be the source of the highest joy. So when he says Paranandam, we have to bring in the Advaitic standpoint. We have to bring in the transcendental standpoint of Bhagavan Sri Krishna as Sachidananda Atman itself. Mandakini Yuta Padam Namata Mahanandadam Mahapurusham. So he is the greatest entity, the only existence in the entire creation. So Mahapurusham, Paranandam, Sat, Chit, Ananda, all three are described by these words. He is Sat because he is Mahapurush. He is the ever-existing great Chaitanyam. He is Sat and Chit. Ever-existing great Chaitanyam he is. Paranandam he is. But he is not only Paranand. He is not only the repository of joy itself. He is not only the greatest joy in its own, by its own nature, but he is also Mahanandadam. He is Mahanandadam. Mahanandadam means he is the bestower of the highest joy. To that we do namaskara. And furthermore, his feet are of Mandakini Yuta Padam. Padam is feet. So how are his feet? It is Mandakini Yuta. It is coupled along with. It is the originator. As you know, the Puranic story, Mother Shri Ganga, Mother Ganga originated in the feet of Lord Narayana. That is the Puranic story that we remember. So with that memory, Bhagavad Padal writes, Mandakini Yuta Padam. The entire Ganga is there at his feet. One can also say it is the Jnana Ganga. It is the great Ganga, the great river of Jnanam, which is there at his feet, continuously flowing and enabling all the jivas to partake this Jnanam and attain the highest happiness. Like that one can imagine, meditate. Continuing. Surabhikrita Digvalayam Surabhi Shatair Avratam Sada Paritaha Surabhiti Kshapanaparam Surabhiyam Yadavam Namata. So again, beautiful alankaras. There is a word Surabhi, of which in 3 or 4 different ways the meanings are existing in Sanskrit. All of those meanings are being used here by Bhagavad Padal. Surabhi Krita Digbalayam. So this first Surabhi is standing for a beautiful sweet smelling fragrance. The sweet smell is also called Surabhi. So what is Krishna's nature? Krishna's nature is to fill the entire universe with this his characteristic sweetness. His Ananda Swarupa is available everywhere. His presence brings joy to everybody. His presence makes everybody's mind feel I am fulfilled, like that. I am happy. By witnessing this entity, I become happy. By knowing this entity, I become happy. So that happiness is indicated by this fragrance, Surabhi. So what does he do? Digvalayam Surabhi Krita. He makes the entire, all directions across the universe. That is, every place, every inch of the universe, he makes it joyful by his presence. Surabhi Krita. Surabhishatair avritam sada paritaha. So he is ever surrounded by thousands of cows, it seems, hundreds of cows. Who is Surabhishataihi. Surabhi, the first Surabhi stands for sweet fragrance, sweet smell. Second Surabhi stands for the cows which are there. Surabhi stands for cows. Surabhishataihi avritam sada paritaha. He is ever surrounded by the gentle cows which are around him and which are calm and peaceful and joyful, which bring a sense of the cows are standing for sattva guna. You see, when you see a cow, the mind naturally becomes calm. When you see a bull, it is different. But when you see a cow, the mind naturally becomes very calm because the cow is of very gentle nature. The cow is very, very motherly nature. The cow is like a gentle mother. Like that, these cows he is being surrounded by. One can also say these are standing for his devotees, the Sattva Sampannaha, Daivi Sampat Sampannaha, those who are endowed with all the wonderful spiritual qualities. They are also like gentle cows. They don't have hatred towards anybody. They are ever fearless. At the same time, they don't cause fear to others. They are always having a sense of contentment in their minds, and they are peacefully living in this world, enjoying the presence of the Lord. So you see comparison between the cows which surround the Lord and the comparison and on the other side, the devotees who surrounded the Lord, with their minds they surround the Lord. So Surabhishataihi avritam sada paritaha can also stand for the devotees which are standing around the Lord or who gather around the Lord always. Then Sura Bhiti Kshapana Param. So a kind of a usage, nice usage here, which is not Surabhi, but it is to be split as Surabhiti Kshapana Param. Surabhiti Kshapana Param. So he is the remover of Kshapana Param. He is the best remover of Bhiti. He is the best remover of the Bhayam. That is the fear encountered by the Suras. Who are the Suras? They are the Devas. They are the maintainers of balance on this world, in this world. They are the Devas. They maintain the balance in this world. At the same time, one can say the Suras also stand for the great devotees of Bhagavan. So here is the one person who is capable of removing the bhayam, the samsara bhayam of all his devotees. The samsara bhayam is something which is very, very natural to us. Every one of us fears death in some way or another. We have a fear of death. Tomorrow, today, if you are going to die, then we have a fear in our mind. What will happen, like that? Even if you are alive also, we have the fear. What will happen in 5 years? What will happen when I am old? What will happen if this doesn't go well? What will happen if that doesn't go well, like that? What will happen to my son? What will happen to my daughter? So many questions and worries that the people have. All these people, if they are devoted to me, if they are taking their shelter with me, then I will remove their sorrow. I will remove their fear. Sakrudeva Prapannaya Tavasmi iti cha yachate abhayam sarvabhutebhyo dadamyetat vratam mama. Like that, Bhagavan says in the Ramavatara. So, as soon as they take their shelter in me, if they just say so, please, Bhagavan, take care of me, I have surrendered to you. Even if they don't mean it, at least if they are saying it in that way and they are genuinely saying it in that moment, then it is my responsibility to protect them, to give them shelter, to uh, protect them from all sorrow. Like that, he tells in Ramayana. What is the meaning of that protection? Does it mean that they will never encounter any difficulty? That is not the meaning. In times of difficulty, the mind will not be disturbed. That is the meaning. By making the mind stable in the wisdom of Bhagavan, in the wisdom of Jnanam, he protects all people, he protects all the devotees. Surabhiti Kshapana Param. Surabhiyam Yadavam Namata. Surabhiyam. So another Surabhiyam is used. Another time here also Surabhi is used here. Here it means that he is the one who brings the supreme good to the cows, to the devotees that surrender to him. He is not only removing the fear and sorrow, but he also brings the happiness. He is the Mahanandadam, as it was said in the previous verse. So he brings the most beneficial things to the devotees, to the cows who have surrendered to him. And he is the Yadava. To that Yadava, he is born in the Yadukula. To that person who is born in the Yadukula, I do my namaskarams. Like that, one has to do dhyanam and to do namaskaram. That is the idea. It is not for his own sake that Bhagavad Padal is saying it, because Bhagavad Padal is a jnani. There is no difference between him and Ishvara, he feels, but still, for the purpose of making us into devotees, enabling us to become Saguna Brahma Upasakas, he is telling us, he is giving Upadesha to us, do Namaskaram in the mind in this way after doing the Dhyanam. Do the Namaskaram after doing the Dhyanam. That is the idea. Yadavam Namata. Kandarpakoti Subhagam Vanchita Paladam Dayaranavam Krishnam Tyaktwakam Anya Vishayam Netra Yugam Drashtum Utsahate. So now he is raising some rhetorical questions. These questions are telling us that the mind, it has to be focused on Bhagavan. The sense organs should be focused on Bhagavan. The sense organs have no business to enjoy things in the world, but they have to focus on, they have to be withdrawn from the world, and the mind has to be made consistently focusing on, consistently enjoying the presence of Bhagavan's form within oneself. So in the modern day, people are extremely agitated always. So they are very, very in a state of disturbed state all the time. It looks like. Because even for 5 minutes, if they remain silent, they will immediately pick up their mobile and start scrolling things in the mobile. This is what we generally see. This is nothing but the Vikshepa Shakti of Maya taking the person, grabbing the person by the neck. The Vikshepa Shakti, the mind has this nature of becoming disturbed by many things. It cannot tolerate looking at itself or being with itself. It always needs to approach and grab and be with some worldly object, be distracted by some worldly object continuously. Once one object is taken up, if that is not interesting, the next object, then that is not interesting, the next object. So it never wants to be in a state where it is not focused on anything worldly object, that is external object, something outside the body. It is not interested. Like that, it will never be. It continues to go from one object to another, one thing to another, always perpetually in activity mode. This is how the mind is. This is that Vikshepa Avastha. This is a great problem into the mind, because the mind which is not stable cannot be available for any further vichara about the true nature of oneself, which is the only cause for moksha that we have seen. So to make the mind available, first you have to cut off the worldly objects from the mind. It is not easy to cut off worldly objects from the mind. So what is done here is to provide a non-worldly object, a object which is of the nature of the form of the Lord, that object is provided to the mind. Now you hold on to this object, that is the form of the Lord. By holding on to this object, you can withdraw from the worldly things, and your mind will you will become purified. Like that, the Guru is telling to the mind of the Shishya. That is the idea here. So see what Bhagavad Pada is saying. Kandarpa Koti Subhagam. So he is the he is more beautiful, endowed with lots and lots of beauty, far more than thousands of Kandarpa. Kandarpa means the Manmatha, the god of love, the god of charm, the god of beauty, whatever we say, 1,000 times, Koti Subhaga. Multiply by a crore Kandarpas you take, what the beauty they may have. Bhagavan is more beautiful. Bhagavan is more endowed with more beautiful qualities than this crores of Kandarpa put together. Vanchita Paladam. It is not just that he is a beautiful person and he is not doing anything to me. Why I will go to him? Just to enjoy his beauty, but then he will say, shoo, shoo, go away. If there is a worldly person, if there is a person in the world who is very beautiful and he is desired for by many people, then that person can have the capability to be irritated. It's typically very irritated because everybody wants to be with him, wants him and wants him to come to them, and so on and so forth. So he cannot satisfy everybody. He is just a normal individual. He will also get old, he will also get tired, and he will also die. So he cannot satisfy everybody's desires. But Bhagavan can satisfy everybody's desire. Vanchita Phaladam. He has the capability to give everything that the devotees want. Whatever happiness, joy they want, he will give to them. Maybe not in that way that they are expecting, but the effect of that he will definitely give. They want happiness, he has the capability to generate happiness in their minds. Dayaranavam Krishnam. Dayaranavam. He is not only capable, but he also is very much welcoming and very much compassionate. See, I have capability to give. I am beautiful. I am great. I have capability to give. And I will give also. But when I am giving, if I am very, very arrogant, an arrogant manner I give. Here, take. Here, keep this. Like that, if I give, nobody will be interested to ask me. They want to feel respected. They want to people who receive, even when they are receiving, they still want to feel respected. It is the nature of human beings. It is the nature of any jiva. Disrespect is viewed worse than receiving something material, isn't it? You may give something material, but once or twice they may tolerate disrespect. But if you continuously disrespect a person, at the same time you are capable of giving, you give to the person, then still the person will not accept whatever you are giving because of the disrespect. Even while giving, one has to give with lot of respect. So Bhagavan here is most compassionate. He has capability to give. He will give. At the same time, he elevates the Shishyas and gives. He doesn't downgrade them. He doesn't insult them. He always is compassionate. He comes down to their level and brings them up. That is the Dayaranam. He is the ocean of compassion. Krishnam, he is the Krishna, Lord Krishna, who is most attractive, most beautiful entity in the world. Krishnam tyaktva kam anya vishayam netrayugam drashtum utsahate. He is asking a question in a rhetorical manner. Bhagavad Pada is phrasing this as a question. What is the question? Giving up this Krishna who is so compassionate, who is capable of giving devotees whatever they want, who is more wondrous and beautiful than thousands of millions and crores of these Gandharpas, the Manmatha, giving up this form of Bhagavan Sri Krishna, the eyes are wanting to enjoy various other worldly forms. Anya Vishayam Netra Yugam Drashtum Utsahate Kam Utsahate. How can the eyes be like this? Which form will be there for the eyes to enjoy than this form of the Lord, which is most beneficial to the eyes also? like that, because it is most beautiful, it is most compassionate, it is most benevolent form. So a benevolent, compassionate and beautiful, everything is there in one place. Such a form is the form that is to be enjoyed. What other form is to be enjoyed? By the mind, by the eyes. That is one. Netra yugam drashtum. By the eyes, what other form has to be enjoyed? That is what he is asking. Utsahate. Now, why are the eyes? Why would the eyes want to enjoy any other form? That is what he is asking. Punyatamam atisurasam मनोभिरामां हरेः कथां त्यक्त्वा श्रोतुं श्रवणद्वन्द्वं ग्राम्यं कथमादरं भवति. So now he is talking about ears. Through the hearing capability, one has to hear only about the wonderful stories of Bhagavan, not about any other worldly stories. Not cinema stories, not actor stories, not politics. Nothing worldly should enter through the ears, because everything causes some disturbance only to the mind. Even if it causes joy, even if you hear a beautiful piece of worldly music, if that causes to you joy, that joy is not at all comparable. It is a very mild form of happiness compared to the most superlative form of happiness which you can get, a permanent form of happiness which you can get when you hear the glories of the Lord, when you hear about the wonderful leelas that he performed in his avataras, when you hear about the truth of the Lord, when you hear about the Guru expounding on the true nature of the Lord, that the ears have to focus on that kind of input, not focus on any other worldly input. These are not at all useful. They are detrimental to you also. So he says, Punyatama, Bhagavan's Katha, Harehe Katham. Like that it comes, isn't it? First shloka, second part, Harehe Katha, Katham. So, Punyatamam Katham. These stories of Lord Hari is Lord Krishna, Lord Narayana, Bhagavan's kathas are the most fulfilling things, are the most punya causing things. They elevate you spiritually. That means what? You go from your current state of existence to more happy state of existence, more joyful state of existence, and permanently more joy, not temporarily, but more joy for a longer time. Eventually, you become the source of joy itself. To that level, this Hari Katha can elevate you. Punyatamam Katham. Atisurasam. So these kathas are filled with the most essence of the rasa, the deep flavor of joy is present within them, and this rasa is surasa. It is not a bad rasa, it is not a worldly rasa, it is not a samsaric rasa, like a lust or greed. It doesn't produce in your mind, but it produces only joy. That manav prasadaha you get, you become a person who feels that, oh, I am fulfilled by listening to this, like that. No other thing will give you this kind of happiness. You watch a great movie, you don't say, my life has become fulfilled by this. You say, this is a nice movie. Okay, very nice. You think about it, how nice it was for 1 day, 2 days. But then the problems of your life don't go away. The movie brings a temporary stop to the problems of life, but the problems of life don't go away just because you watch movie. But listening to the stories of Bhagavan's Leelas, listening to the truth about Bhagavan's nature from the appropriate people in the Shastraic described manner, definitely generates the highest joy in our mind, which has the capability to remove all the emotional problems that you experience throughout your life. No more dependency on the world, on specific objects, people, situations for your happiness. So you become completely independently joyful, irrespective of whatever your life in whatever way the life unfolds, you become joyful. So therefore, this Harikatha is Atisurasam Mano Abhiramam. Immediately as you listen, it is captivating your mind. It is not only producing happiness in the future, but it is a very, very captivating to the mind. As and when you listen to the story of Lord Krishna, a joy enters your mind and heart, isn't it? Don't have to wait for it. It is immediate. So Manobhiramam, it is most attractive, it is most punya causing, it is most it is spiritually elevating, it is also eventually resulting in the greatest joy, that is moksha itself. That kind of sounds, those kinds of words, where will you get in this universe? You will not get anywhere except in the our Sanatana Dharma, our Purana Itihasa, our Shastra, our Vedantic scriptures. This is where you get, no other place you get. So, such kathas are available. Harehe katham tyaktva. If the ears don't listen to them, what else is there in this world to listen to? See, you have such a precious thing with you. Leaving that precious thing, you go for some trivial things. You have diamond in your house, but thinking that diamonds are worthless, you go and pick stones. Why would you want to do that? It is not appropriate, it is not useful, it is detrimental. So these kathas are supposed to be listened to. They are the most precious, happiness causing, but leaving them tyaktva shrotum Shravanadandvam Gramyam Katham Adaram Bhavati. Why do these ears, how come these ears go towards hearing those Gramya Katha, go towards hearing those unnecessary worldly things, some political, some relationship, conversation, family problem, this problem, that problem, world problem. Somebody somewhere is fighting a war, this, that, and so on and so forth. These things, politics, something about the sports, something about some cinema actor. All these things are Gramya Katha. See, they don't have any utility in the spiritual purpose. For living your life day to day, certain news and information you should have. See, some essential broadcast is happening that there is going to be a thunderstorm around you and so on. Yes, you have to listen to that. That is information that is relevant to how you should plan your upcoming days. But somewhere something is happening and then you are getting affected by that, or certain things which are not on your control, you are getting affected by that, or certain things you are yourself go and get involved in the situation when it is not uncalled for at all, when it is totally uncalled for. These things are not necessary at all. These are what the Shastra calls as Gramya Katha. So they are unnecessary, they are useless. These kinds of useless words, useless sounds, don't listen to them. Instead, you can as well spend your time in study of scriptures, listening to scriptures, and in meditating upon the form of the Lord as described in the scriptures, the Leelas of the Lord as described in the scriptures. That is more elevating to you. That is the idea. Daurbhagyam indriyanam krishne vishayehi shashvatike kshanikeshu papakaraneshu api sajjante yad anya vishayeshu. So now he is saying, the mind he has come to, the indriyanam, antarindriyam, bahirindriyam, both we have to take, right? The inner indriya, which is the mind, the outer indriyas, which are the sense organs. It is their misfortune that when Krishna is available, the form of Lord Krishna is available to us in the temple, in the scriptures, in the form of these verses. Instead of this is a Shashvatika Vishaya. This is the permanent source of joy to the mind. That is the nature of this form. They give permanent joy to the mind. But kshanikeshu papakaraneshu api sajjante yad anya vishayeshu. Whereas the mind or the indriyas, they go towards the anya vishayas, they go towards other things in the world, whether mental or physical. They go to these material things which are not only temporal, they give only temporal joy, but they can also give long-term sorrow. They cause papakara. They become the source for sorrow also. Because these worldly things, they will go away, then they will create problem for you. Or by acquiring and keeping them, you will do adharma, and therefore they create problem for you. In some way or the other, these worldly things only breed attachment and sorrow. They don't cause any happiness. They cause only temporary pleasure. That much only. If you can overlook the temporary pleasure and look at their doshas, go for dosha darshanam. What are all the problems I will have if I acquire it? If you start thinking in this way, then you will never go towards them. You will remain with the form of Lord Krishna in your mind and heart, which will ever give you joy and will never cause you any problem. It is source of removal of all problem it is. Giver of joy it is. That form is available to you in the scripture, in these shlokas. So meditate on this form. Don't go to the worldly things. That is the idea. So with that, we have come to the close of this chapter, which is beautifully giving us a description of how to do dhyana upon Lord Krishna in the form of the Vrindavana Sri Krishna, Vrindavana Vihari. So by this meditation, it is Bhagavad Pada's expectation that our minds will be purified. It is his blessing that he has given us in the form of these shlokas. By practicing them, our minds can become purified. In this wonderful day, which is Bhagavad Pada's Jayanti, we will conclude this session giving our utmost prostrations to the Jagat Gurus, starting from Shankaracharya onwards, starting from Ishvara onwards, then to Shankaracharya, and via Shankaracharya, we have our present Shringeri Jagat Gurus with us. So let us pay our respects and prostrations to them, and always remember their teachings primarily. First their teaching, then their forms, always. So teaching, form, let us keep in our minds and benefit, reap the rewards and benefits. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
मङ्गलं गुरुश्री चन्द्रमौळीश्वरगे शक्तिगणपति शारदाम्बೆಗೆ ಶಂಕರಾಚಾರ್ಯರಿಗೆ ಕಾಲಭೈರವಗೆ ಕಾಳಿದುರ್ಗಿಗೆ ವೀರಧೀರ ಶೂರ ಹನುಮ ಮಾರುತಿ ಚರಣಕ್ಕೆ ಮಲ್ಲಿಕಾರ್ಜುನಗೆ ಚೆಲ್ವ ಜನಾರ್ದನಗೆ ಅಂಬಾ ಭವಾನಿ ಕಂಬದ ಗಣಪತಿ ಚಂಡಿ ಚಾಮುಂಡಿಗೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾರಣ್ಯರಿಗೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾಶಂಕರಗೆ ವಾಗೀಶ್ವರಿಗೆ ವಜ್ರದೇಹ ಗರುಡಾಂಜನೇಯರಿಗೆ ತುಂಗಭದ್ರೆಗೆ ಶೃಂಗನಿವಾಸಿನಿಗೆ ಶೃಂಗೇರಿಪುರದೊಳು ನೆಲೆಸಿರುವಂಥ ಶಾರದಾಂಬೆಗೆ ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದ ಶಿವ ಅಭಿನವ ನೃಸಿಂಹ ಭಾರತಿಗೆ ಚಂದ್ರಶೇಖರ ಭಾರತಿ ಗುರು ಸಾರ್ವಭೌಮರಿಗೆ ಚಂದ್ರಶೇಖರ ಭಾರತಿ ಗುರು ವಿದ್ಯಾತೀರ್ಥರಿಗೆ ಚಂದ್ರಶೇಖರ ಭಾರತಿ ಗುರು ಭಾರತಿ ತೀರ್ಥರಿಗೆ ಚಂದ್ರಶೇಖರ ಭಾರತಿ ವಿಧುಶೇಖರ ಭಾರತಿಗೆ ಮಂಗಳಂ ಗುರುಶ್ರೀ ಚಂದ್ರಮೌಳೀಶ್ವರಗೆ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಗಣಪತಿ ಶಾರದಾಂಬೆಗೆ ಶಂಕರಾಚಾರ್ಯರಿಗೆ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಗಣಪತಿ ಶಾರದಾಂಬೆಗೆ ಶಂಕರಾಚಾರ್ಯರಿಗೆ